2 minutes to answer. How can Denton ISD convince legislature to properly fund our public schools?
We'll continue to advocate like we've been and showing them the proper way that we're not getting funding, because some of our legislators don't quite know how the funding works for public education. We'll continue to inform our tax base, our voters, our parents, and our teachers to continue to advocate on behalf of our districts so that they can be fully funded.
Excellent, thank you. Terry, would you like me to read it again? Yes. How can Denton ISD convince legislators to properly fund our public schools?
I don't know if they can convince the legislatures. One way is by voting for legislatures, but not through the process of electioneering. That voting for who you think will best represent the intent that you would like to see to go on to the state legislature. All legislators can use more education, and they are not experts in everything. We are to advocate for our students, and if we find the need, then we would go ahead, seek their help, and hopefully get some support necessary. Thank you.
Thank you. Debbie, would you like me to read it again? You're good.
Well, let me start out by saying I am no fan of our governor, but I have recently watched a interview with him, and he was talking about funding and school choice, school vouchers, and from what he said, schools are not willing to compromise and make deals with him in order to come to an agreement on funding. And so they are playing a game in up there in Austin with withholding funds. So I think that schools need to and legislature needs to come together and come to a compromise, and then we can work more funding.
Thank you. Barbara, your last one. Would you like me to read it again? How can Denton ISD convince legislators to properly fund our public schools?
One way for sure is to vote and make sure that your vote is for people who believe in funding public schools. Also, developing relationships with your lawmakers so that they know that they can talk with you and that you can work things out that way. Also, it's important to advocate with your community, with your friends. There are lots of websites out there where you can easily go and I will do this with friends, say contact them, this is coming up in the legislature, and let them know how you feel. And the more people that are heard, the more likely they are to listen to the side that advocates for public schools. So those are some ways that we can help try to increase the funding that we need for our schools.